I just can't do it. So how's your shopping going? How's Christmas? Are you stressed out? I'm a little stressed out. Just a smidgen. A few more gifts to get. It's stressful, you know? And then I've got the stress of not seeing my mom and dad at Christmas. It's kind of bumming me out. How are you feeling about that? I am not a big fan of this social distancing, but I understand we have to do it. And it's for the greater good. But it's still not fun, right? So, are you shopping on Amazon? I just want to tell you a quick story that happened yesterday. I ordered a bunch of stuff for my wife and my daughter. And the package came, but the stuff in it wasn't my stuff. And then my very sweet wife talked to Amazon for an hour to convince them that we didn't receive our stuff and received some other stuff. And then I started feeling really bad about the other person who got this package, which was mine, which clearly would not be rocking their boat. And if it did, I hope so. But so they refunded it. I had to reorder everything. I got parts of it back today. But have you ever had that happen where you got the wrong stuff? First for me, we've probably ordered 100 times. Never had that happen. How do you folks feel about the numbers right now? Right? The number of people that are unemployed, the number of people who are infected with COVID, the number of people who are not showing signs of having anything but still walking around, and they're givers. They're given the COVID, but they're not even aware they're given the COVID. That's what's so scary. And now we've got COVID-20 imported from the UK. Well, that's kind of a thing of its own, right? I don't know. You guys enjoying HAPS? I'm just right now checking. See, I love this. Did you guys go tobogganing at all? I've got someone here showing me footage of them going tobogganing and having a good old time. Oh, that's a good idea. Wear a hockey helmet. Can you guys remember as kids going down the hill in our little toboggans that were wooden? Seemed like 150 miles an hour. It was probably more like 20. But it was pretty scary, and you sure didn't want to hit a tree. Let's see here. Okay. Well, I'm definitely live on Facebook. I see that. The other thing I noticed, too, is I'm not necessarily getting comments from Facebook until after, right? Unless someone leaves a comment there and then I can see it, I guess. It's so confusing, but it is amazing. Thank you, HAPS. This is the only format that I know that is so easily, you can run 3 or 4 formats at once. How wonderful is that? And you can connect all your audiences, right? So I have mostly family and friends on Facebook, people who know me in real life. Then I have my, I shouldn't call them this, but kind of fake friends, people that you know on Twitter. And I have a lot of those. And they're wonderful. They're wonderful people. But I often wonder, is the picture of them real? And why don't you do videos? And please do videos. Oh, I would love that. Then I could see the essence of you. Right? But I think a lot of people, this is difficult. Getting in front of a camera, talking to people, reading comments. I've had people recently ask me, what are some of the strategies of getting through this lockdown, right? For many people, this feels like house arrest. And I talked to a couple of individuals this morning who were saying they feel really down. And, you know, one of the big highlights every year is the big dinner. And even if there's chaos, if you're a social person like me, you like to go out and do karaoke. I remember one year, I think we actually did karaoke Christmas Eve. How crazy is that? And it was one of my favorite memories of being in Toronto. And we got together with a few families that are in the same areas where we are, which is near Deer Park in Toronto. So if we ever get back on the karaoke trail, one of my favorite places is Kramer's. Thank you. All the memories that I've had over the last 4 or 5 years of going to Kramer's. It's funny because when I first came to Toronto, I had someone say to me, you really should go to Kramer's. It's more your thing. And I didn't really know what that meant. I think he was later implying to me that I was old and old people sing at Kramer's. But I do miss singing. And this year we lost so many great singers. It's so sad. But the biggest singer this year that I really miss is, do you know? Right? Think about it. Who do I love? Bill Withers. Lean on Me. Lovely Day. You just keep on using me. You ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Right? What a great guy. He was the best. He really was. We also had a couple other hits with other artists, right? Like the Crusaders. I miss the music of the 80s and the 90s. That's a sign of getting old. It really is. Let's read something because I do this every year. Thank you for shining your light in my direction this year in 2021. I truly appreciate your positive vibrations and all the wonderful connections that we've made this year. Thank you to so many people on Twitter, my friends and family who are on Facebook, of course, and my new family here at HAPS, who have been quite amazing, to be honest with you. The support is incredible. And HAPS, thank you for so much support for just average people, right? Who don't know how to use the format. The format is pretty elaborate. And as you can see, the quality is quite good. Sorry, just trying not to be rude here and reading some of the comments here. And they're asking me questions. And it's hard to do both. Thank you, Kathy, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Hello from Los Angeles. Mark, how are you? Mark is a great guy. Mark's doing his best. We're all doing our best right now, right? During COVID-20 now. Do you think we'll make it to COVID-21? I sure hope not. Many people believe that we are currently in a really tough stage. And that many of the experts knew this a while ago and they were afraid to tell us. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. I'm hoping that it is more infectious, but it's been diluted. Nice to meet you too, Kathy. How are you today? How are you feeling about Christmas? How are you feeling about this format? And Mark, tell me, what are you grateful for today? Mark, I love what you're doing here. I love the good vibrations. I started my morning this morning and I saw a couple of, I guess, little pick-me-ups that you had here on HAPS, and it's making a huge difference. It really, really is. And I mean in the collective, right? Because we need formats like this. And it's wonderful to see people who are seekers and people who are trying to make a difference in this world because, this is a time of suffering, unfortunately, but it doesn't necessarily have to be always suffering. It can also be a time of clarity. And we really need collectively good souls like Mark and good souls like John and so many of my friends that are here in Toronto that I'm seeing on Facebook right now. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support, I'm really humbled, to be honest with you. And everyone right now, if you can, just reach out to somebody who is in need. And I mean within your community. So if you live like in an apartment, or I agree, this year has been rough, but I am really grateful for this new community. You know what? You should be proud of what you've built. There's a lot of love in this community. And I like this format. It's nice. Hap's team is so wonderful. They are wonderful. I've never in my entire life seen, people that develop apps so passionate. And you've picked some great people. And I just pray to God that they don't burn out. And please be patient with them, right? Anything new is going to have bugs and clicks. Nothing is going to be seamless, especially something like this that is so elaborate. I would really love to know, Mark, what are you most grateful for right now? And I don't mean just the community, but what are you most grateful for in your life? Like for me, I love that I'm still working. I love that my wife is still working. My daughter's still working, that we're doing quite well. And this has been a year of real reflection for me and a lot of my friends and my family. And then I have friends who are reaching out to me right now that haven't worked for like 6-8 months and are worried about, buying gifts and putting gas in the car and feeding themselves and even having enough money for dog food. I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but here in Canada, we've kind of lost our way. You have built an amazing team. You really do. You have an amazing team. And the great thing is when you have such positive energy, it's going to draw in more energy and people are going to be brought into this format. Like I was watching a show one night and I noticed it was on Haps, right? It was Randy Horton and Randy's character. And I've been on Randy's show a couple times, and Randy can get a little wild. But him and I in the past have not always seen eye to eye, but we do get along. We're kind of like rivaling brothers at times. But he told me, he said, get on this app. It is about to blow up. Everybody and their grandmother is going to want to be on it in 3 months when, unfortunately, Periscope closes down. But Periscope, I really felt, didn't have the passion to make that product a great product. And they had the avenue and the resources and the money to do it, but they just didn't have the passion. Or maybe there was just too much going on. I don't know. But you guys seem to be wanting to build something that lasts. And I hope it works out for you. And I said this before on my other broadcast, I really believe that one of the big players will step up and want to buy it from you once they see the momentum. So I hope you have the belief. I've always been very intuitive. And the vibration of this is just amazing. Unfortunately, I got to run. Of course you do. You're a busy man. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate your energy and keep being a source of light and love to all the people in your inner circle. And Mark, you're doing a great job. Well done. That's very kind. Now, think of that just right there. How many people who own the company or a co-owner and they decide that they just, I'm going to come on and see what's going on, right? That says so much. Please be patient with me here for just a second, folks. I'm doing a couple things here, just right here. So if you can, check out Randy W. Horton. He is also on Haps. His show is a little wild. I'm going to warn you if you're a spiritual person and part of my content, but he's genuinely got a good heart and he's out there trying to make a difference, I believe, in people's lives. I wanted to ask him what drew him to do the show. And he said to me, there are so many people that are lonely and have no form of connection. And this can be a place where they can visit and feel at home, right? Interesting. Okay. Oh, I do have a question. Many of you, are you working from home? And if you are working from home, are you getting some form of an allowance each year now for like a new chair, a new desk, camera, microphone, any of that stuff? I'd be interested in knowing. And anybody on the rebroadcast, I'm sorry, this hasn't been 1,000 readings in a row, but I'm really trying to multitask here at the moment. Just give me a second. Got to answer this. There we go. Okay, so there you go. Every day is an opportunity to shine your light, reconnect with the souls that awaken healing. You could choose to be alive with waves of unconditional love this week. Many lost souls seek to find comfort in things that make them feel numb. And what I meant by that is so many people right now are turning to alcohol, or be it drugs, a little bit of Bob Marley, as I call it. We all have our vices. For me, it's always been more food, and I've even been trying to get a grip on that. This year, I've probably, oh my God, I probably gained 20 pounds and lost 30. I don't know. But I'm currently on the downswing of it. So I've actually been losing weight, and I've been incredibly strict already. And I have been for about 2 months. And I have to be honest with you, it's been mostly because of fear. And the fear of the COVID, right? I want to be as healthy as possible if I get another strand of some sort. Now, I believe I got it last year light. And I think a lot of people believe they got it light. So if you're somewhat healthy, and I would like to believe that I am, I'm 57 years old. I'm definitely in the risk category. I'm a little bit overweight, as you can see, but I'm not obese. I could probably lose 20 pounds. Absolutely. I would love to believe that that extra weight is filling my face up a little bit more, so I don't need the Botox. I don't want to look deflated. When it comes to things like vanity of looks, I've unfortunately have given up on the looks part. I remember when I was a very young teenager, I was maybe 16, and my grandfather caught me looking in the mirror. And he went, "Get a good look, son. You only have a few minutes in the sunshine." And I said, "What do you mean, Grandpa?" And he goes, "Oh, there'll come a point where you can't look in it. You'll feel like it betrayed you." And I went, "Really?" And he said, "You look very similar to me when I was younger." And I was like, "Okay." So he went away for a moment. I proceeded to look at myself in the mirror. He came back and showed me a picture. And my God, there were similarities. And he was quite handsome. And then he said, "Look, what you're seeing right now is what you have to look forward to." And I was horrified. And the truth is, I'm very similar to my grandfather in many ways, especially looks. So he was right. Infinite wisdom. Good looks will fade or be gone forever. I hope it all works out for all of us. I know it'll work out for all of us. A lot of it is we have to have faith. And that was Mark that left that comment. And another friend of mine, John, left me a comment too, who's currently having a birthday. And happy birthday, John. He's hoping that I can read something that will give him some clarity. And I'm like, okay. Always invest in the sacred knowledge awakening within the deepest core of your mind. Be careful when you spend time around dark souls. They can steal your light with their fear and hatred. And we all have that. We have people that can come into a room and take over the room, right? It can be heavy. There are a lot of heavy, heavy spirits. And it's important to know that you don't have to take that on. You can always choose to shield yourself. The world is always going to be full of emotional vampires. See, the thing is, we love to believe that we have the answers, but we don't. And we don't know necessarily what's best for us, and we don't necessarily know what's best for the people around us. But the one thing we can do on a daily basis is we can affect the people around us by being loving, patient, kind, and compassionate. Now, it's hard to do. That requires a lot of spiritual energy. Many of us, though, at this time of the year are drained dry. We're like a candle that's got a wick at both ends and we've burned ourselves completely out. Be aware of that. Don't let people steal your life force from you. Know that you are here as part of the collective to raise the vibration, to be part of something greater than yourself, and be someone who is here to serve. Just serve, right? That's a life well lived. It's just a life of service. And I get emotional when I think about it because since I was a very young boy, that is all I've ever really wanted to do, was be someone who was helpful. Now, I wasn't always. I was very lost, especially as a teenager and even into my, I would say, 20s and early 30s. And part of it was I was entangled with my ego. I was entangled probably with the dogma that I had been taught and really didn't know what my soul signature was. And all of us right now are awakening because there's huge quickening. And I really believe that COVID-19 may be part of that. So just take time this week and breathe and be aware of your breath and take long, beautiful breaths and know that this is just a chapter in your life and that this doesn't have to be the only chapter. There's also going to be abundance and love. And know that all great success stories have gone through mounds and mounds and mounds of pain and suffering. And I think in these dark nights of the soul times in our lives, that is when we really awaken our true possibility for greatness. You know, when we are sometimes in a state of shock or awe, or we're feeling like someone has maybe done us wrong, it is really us reflecting on maybe the way that we have treated other people in the past. And this now is kind of karma biting us in the ass. So before you judge and before you put a label on anyone, know that we are all flawed. We are all trying to do our very best. And we're here to just be a source of kindness and to spread unconditional love, because that's all it's about, is love. So if you can be a source of hope and healing to the people you cherish most in this life, do it this Christmas season. Thank you so much. I'm going to go on every other day. I'm going to continue to do my crazy form of ministry, I guess. And I really want to thank Jace Jacobs this year for all the support that you've given me. I really, really appreciate it. The Skinny Hippie, if you can watch her, she's going to end up being on here as well. She's another really uplifter. Donna, you know who you are. Thank you for the wonderful broadcast that you do every day and how you raise the vibration with your meditation and your yoga What you're doing is really making a difference in the collective, and know that this is just the first step. Please send me images so I can support your book, and know that whatever is going on within your life that maybe feels like a hurdle, it really is maybe just a form of discovery. Thank you so much to all the people at HAPS who made this format. And we're building a community here. And I'm hoping that we all can get together, every other day and just, share stories and maybe feel a sense of unity in this somewhat troubled world. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day and continue to shine your light in sometimes the darkest places, and know on a deeper level that love, unconditional love, and non-judgment are the waves of 2021. You are a part of this quickening. We are all awakening. We are all ascending. We are all masters of our domain and masters of our future. Have a glorious day. Thank you to everybody on Facebook who just tuned in. I really appreciate you all. Thank you, David. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Peter. I really, really appreciate you. And Michelle, thank you for tuning in as well. And Donna, again. So many Donnas. It's hilarious. All right. Take care.